about these 16 virtues because this is what the principal foundation of government is made of. And that is why we have to do the advocacy portion of the virtue. See, because you have a veteran that is suffering, not leaving one veteran behind is, of course, something that we have to do. We must continue to bring forth and enlighten people of the problems that are going on within this nation for veterans, whether it is or isn't something that is supposed to be. You know, we have a problem that I am experiencing firsthand, watching our own hostess go out and seek beneficial treatment. And we're talking to Congress. We've been talking to Congress for 3 years now. And it's almost as though it's deliberate indifference to the specified needs of what's been said and what's been happening. I think that we must continue to do what we can in order to make it possible that we can bring pressure to bear on the representatives who represent us. We have to make it so that our representatives are there. So, okay. So one of the things that you find when you're discussing the civic virtues of Republican form of government, that means that no one is left out. When we look at that form of government, we have to understand that it is not a democracy. It is a republic if you can maintain it. Now, what does that maintenance mean? That means that we have to have constant, vigilant eyes on what is happening in the Congress. The Congress runs off of a simple digest that's pushed every day. But people don't understand this. They don't understand the civics because civics is no longer taught in school. It comes up to ADVIA to try to add the civics as order to prove to do something about it. See, because a lot of times we don't understand that we are the action that starts the wheel to moving. See, because you speaking to your congressman or your senator, your call to one of the 3 representatives in your team makes a representative of 500 persons or more. You know, women veterans are often overlooked. And this is not just a DC problem, because you shouldn't have a problem getting attention. You shouldn't have a problem in the organization knowing that you're a woman in need and no one helps. Joyce Trumpet has joined us. Joyce, have you experienced any of this type of shortfall on women veterans?
I have been experiencing it for a very long time. As a matter of fact, I was in need about a year ago for spiritual, financial, and other types of help, and the powers that be could not find themselves to give me what I need or suggest someone that I would need, could help me. They put me off to somebody else, and the person that was supposed to take care of me didn't do what they're supposed to do. I am so tired of people telling other people to do the job that they, in fact, should do. Now, if someone is in charge and he tells an underling or someone under him to do something, that person under him, seeing that we're still using the military system, should do it. However, the person under that got the information to follow through did not follow through, and nothing was done. Needless to say, I am not happy because I have suffered immensely. Case in point, I had some broken items around my house that need to be fixed. I called one of my higher-ups in my organization and told him what was going on, and he suggested that he would call the person that is in my area that could deal with the problem, because he is in my area and is responsible for my welfare. Because we always pride ourselves by saying, no man left behind. Does that mean women too? Because it seems we are not part of the situation where we should not be left behind, because we are being left behind.
I keep telling them about the 7 out of 10 VAs in the nation that don't have facilities for women. That's leaving people behind, folks.
That's right. It's leaving people, whether it's the VA or you have a special program where you help veterans with their homes or you help them get to appointments, whatever it is. If it's a female, it's a veteran. Whether we are females or males, we are veterans. Say you're not going to leave anybody behind, but the females are being left behind. We're getting poor medical care. I went to my primary doctor on the 4th of February. I had an infection. She stated I had an infection. I told her I had been suffering with that problem for at least 3 weeks, but I didn't want to go because I knew I would have to go through changes to get what I needed. So she ordered a prescription for me. I was waiting for the prescription and expected to be within 2-3 days before I received it. However, 24 days later, I get the prescription in the mail, and that was only because I called her back and asked her, where is my prescription? I saw you on the 4th. This is the 24th. Why do I not have my prescription? I have an infection, which means you need to be treated. Amazing. How do you forget somebody when they have an infection and they need a prescription? You forget to write a prescription? Did you forget to send it off? What happened? But I was forgotten. I was forgotten. I'm getting paid to do this job. Really? So, needless to say, there are problems all around. Females are having problems, the males are having problems. But it's more of a problem for the female because there are few of us and they don't seem to care about us. They just don't.
See, I am not one to be out here by myself. And this is why when I speak about veterans issues, I always try to bring up women's veterans issues in detail. You know, whether it's the fact of the matter that no technicians are available for women veterans who come in that may require a chest x-ray. Perhaps there is a problem that a woman is having that perhaps only another woman is able to deal with. Now, I'm not saying that you're not medically trained as a male doctor to deal with females' issues, but it's the patient's elective choice. As a part of the honor debt, we have an obligation to ensure that the person who is receiving the treatment should feel comfortable with their doctor and their care. You shouldn't be going to a doctor and a doctor spitting at your face or anything like that. But see, we only deal with these things when we understand that they become an emergency. We may sit by and see our neighbor going through something and say, oh, well, it's not me. But that is you. That is you. Because as long as one veteran is mistreated, we're all mistreated.
That's right. Because you never know when you're going to be the one in the hot seat. You never know. Because for years I've had treatment at my VA. But within the last 2 years, I'm having a very, very difficult time getting what I need. And my situations are getting worse because I'm getting older and I'm having various problems that, you know, you require more care as you get older. we are. You can't get in to get your appointments. You have to wait 6 months and sometimes longer. And when you do get in and think you're going to get what you need, you're waiting. Now, had I not called that doctor and spoken to her, I might have never gotten that prescription. And here I was sitting, waiting like a fool. You know, like, how do we change these situations? How do we improve on people's behavior? These people know what their jobs are. They're supposed to do them. People that are left in charge with jobs should do them. They're getting paid to do these jobs. You know, it baffles me. Baffles me.
Indeed. You know, the thing is that people do not understand because, like I said earlier in the show, we're caught up in our daily lives. I was explaining to the audience about the 9 pillars of civic duty that were described in the Library of Congress. Marilyn thought I was getting off of the subject, but the reason that I was saying this to the audience was because of the fact of the matter that if you think they did not think about people being distracted, believe me, if you ever do a tour of the Library of Congress, you will see that every human endeavor that's ever been conceived has been looked at and thought of. The vast knowledge, just standing amongst the volumes of books of Jefferson, looking at the way that they were broken up into memories, into science, into imagination. Those are the things that the Congress was varied on, whether it was his beekeeping journals, how to grow certain fruits, and different things like that. This is what happened. But we have an obligation to become hungry, because Jefferson said, I cannot live without books. Somewhere along the line in our everyday life, caught up in the technology, but we don't have the understanding of what to seek out to feed ourselves so that we can control the government that's supposed to be practicing for the people. You know, I try to do this station so that people will wake up. I try to do this station so that people will have a source of news and information. I've been criticized because I've gotten rid of the fact that we don't have Open Mic Monday. And the reason why I've gotten rid of that concept is because we're veteran-driven news. If you have news and information that is important to you, it is important to us, and that's what drives our news. But we're also to focus on what is coming out of Congress. We have to look at what is coming out of Congress, because the word government, gov means to govern, ment means mental. I'm talking about the breakdown of the word government and what it means. And when you put the two, gov, of to govern, and ment, mental, to control the mind. Now see, people don't always get what I'm talking about, but I'm explaining this to our audience because we have to understand. The government operates with something called parens patriae, because you are so distracted with your life that you don't know what's good for you. So therefore, that's how they control your mind, with the distractions. Am I making myself clear on why this is what is going on when you're dealing with government? Joyce, are you there? Let's see.
Yeah.
Ooh. Wait a minute, we lost Joyce for a second. But the end result of it is that when you have this type of undercurrent going on under you, and you look back now, what was said by Benjamin Franklin, that you have, what form of government do you have?